Hello and welcome to Mretta Art Studio. My name is Michelle and we're going to be doing a drawing of Dr. Jane Goodall in the Faber-Castell Pitt matte graphite pencils. These pencils have no shine to them whenever you're drawing on your paper and you get into the really dark darks, unlike the other graphite pencils like regular 2B and the 8 gets into the H pencils and HB pencils. Those all have a shine to them, and you can only get so dark with those pencils. With these pencils, however, you can get extremely dark, almost into a black. They go from a 2B up to a 14B pencil, and some of the sets don't go all the way up to a 14B, so you may have to purchase these pencils or one pencil from an open stock through Amazon or another art supplier like Blick or like Jerry's Artorama. The only thing I can caution you all though is that these pencils, the shipping on those can be really expensive, so it might be more advantageous to go buy another set of these Pitt matte pencils that have the 14 B in it, and that way you're just going to get extra pencils because you know you're going to use them and you're going to need them anyway. And then instead of spending it in shipping, you're just going to be saving your money. There's one thing that I did find out with using these pencils, because this was the first drawing I've ever tried drawing with these, was that they were a little bit grainier than what I thought and what I expected, but not in a bad way. They did blend phenomenally well, which I was really happy with. The only slight downfall to these is that once you lay the dark colors down on a white paper, they don't want to come out of the textures in the fibers of the paper very well. Like a 2B, you can lay them down and pick them up fairly easy, but just because of the way these pencils are made and probably the binders that are in them, it doesn't allow for as easy of a pickup off of that white paper. So if you have to erase a lot, you might want to use just your light 2B in this and just sketch as light as you can, or use a mechanical pencil and get some lines kind of laid out where you'd want them, and then go from there. With these pencils, when I found that out, I decided to do most of this initial drawing just in the 2B and laying out my lines, doing my shadow and my shading with the 2B. And then I went back in and I used my other, like a 6B or 8B in the darker areas. And then the darkest area, I used my 14B. These... I also use the Tombow eraser, eraser there to the right. It's got a very small tip on the inside of it. It is very delicate to use in small spots. The eraser is actually hard, but it will get into really small areas. And you can use an eraser not just to erase, mistakes, but to use for like hairlines or highlights, for soft edging where you may need it. So they become a useful tool just as a drawing tool in themselves. For the bigger, removal, use something like a drafting eraser, a white eraser. I found with doing any of the drawing from school that they remove the best. So look for something like that. You can buy, the set of these 3-pack at Staples for not too much money. I did want to educate everybody today about Dr. Jane Goodall, not only because she's, one of the most important people probably of our time, especially when it comes to animal conservationism, and just helping, different people groups, just in general. So I wanted to give you kind of an overview of what I found. All this information came off of her website, which is the Jane Goodall Institute at janegoodall.org, and you can go on that site and look at what all that she's done, where she's been, the awards she's won, which there were too many to count. So Jane Goodall, she was born on April 3rd, 1934. So this April, she's going to be 90 years old. At the age of 26 in 1960, she traveled from England to Tanzania into the world of the chimpanzees within the Gombe National Park. And she went in as a field researcher, armed with her notebook and binoculars. She worked for nearly 60 years doing groundbreaking work because her methods were unorthodox to people at the time, to other researchers at the time. Her methods were different because she immersed herself into the lives and family structures of the chimpanzees. She graduated as an ethologist, and that is a zoologist that studies the behavior of animals in their natural habitats. In 1961, she entered Cambridge University as a PhD candidate, only the eighth person to be admitted without an undergraduate degree. She repeatedly went back and forth to Gombe to continue her research and observation, and in 1966 she earned her degree as an ethologist. So in 1966 she earned her PhD. Her study was different than others of her time, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. She would immerse herself in with the chimpanzees, and she learned that they had intimate or intricate social structures and family bonds, and could make and use tools. Jane Goodall then founded the Jane Goodall Institute in 1977, now known as JGI, and it is a global leader in chimpanzee and habitat protection. JGI operates through 24 global offices supporting groundbreaking science at the Gombe, the world's largest running wild chimpanzee study. JGI is a trailblazer for science-driven programs, advocacy, animal welfare at its sanctuaries, as well as youth empowerment through Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots program that is now in more than 60 countries worldwide. She is an activist for those without a voice and has worked to remove chimps from media and from being used as research subjects in biomedical science laboratories. She was originally lived in Beaumont, England. That was her family home, and that's where she currently resides today. Yeah, almost 90 years old. She has won many honors and awards throughout her career and life, and there's too many to list. But one that I wanted to note was that she was given the honor of a United Nations Messenger of Peace and the Dame of the British Empire. And she's also not only an advocate, but she's an author, and she's had many documentaries on National Geographic, and people that she inspired were and came after her were others like Diane Fossey, which you guys may have not have heard of her either. Diane Fossey, she worked with the large primates as well, the apes. She worked with gorillas and effectively lost her life because of her research and her love and trying to do as Jane and preserve these precious creatures. So I wanted to mention Diane Fossey in particular here. Jane has been a leader in so many things throughout our life, and she's touched our lives, whether you know it or not, near and far. And I wanted to bring her back into the highlight and limelight right now because there's too many people that I talk to. They'll say, well, I don't know who Jane Goodall is. And when I tell them, they'll say, oh, well, she's the lady. She's the one that works for the chimps. I'm like, yeah. And I try to give them a little bit of a background about her. One more thing to mention. She also set up the Gombe Stream Research Center. And in the 1980s, she witnessed accelerated deforestation and declining chimpanzee populations. So she was forced to leave Gombe to save the chimpanzees from extinction. She still continues that work today through her sanctuaries and research sites in Uganda and JGI Spain site in Senegal. So she keeps expanding and she keeps moving. The website said that before COVID, she would travel about 300 days a year, doing huge combos in universities, speeches, in schools, programs, and even, in her sanctuaries. She's been on the go and has been doing this since she was, 26 years old. So kudos to you, Jane. Thank you so much for your efforts. If you are watching this, I did this in honor of you, this drawing, and I would love to meet you someday. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the chimpanzees, for everyone in the world at large, those that know it and don't know it. We appreciate you, we applaud you, and we honor you. Thank you for your service. If you would like to contribute to the saving of chimpanzees and other causes, please visit the Jane Goodall Institute at janegoodall.org. Together, we can make a difference. Please like and subscribe to receive more updates and further videos. Thanks for watching.